Hey guys, it's FallenHobo here. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Airstrike Designator Napalm, but before I start that review, I'd like to give a few shoutouts. First to MindDude, a very good climbmate, a very good friend of mine who gifted me a respawn token, and another shoutout to Ushiny for another respawn token. So alright, let's get on to the review.
Heroes, skinny fit jeans and dressed in pink. How he just is Arc Zeros, as long as he don't fill my drink. That girl's an indie Cindy, Lego haircut, polka dot dress. I don't care, she thinks she's indie, how different as anyone gets. You get your skin tight, colors on the floor, with all your white lines, every slide whore. All the bound boys in your specs and sneaker, on your back, yeah, time to blow the speaker. I went to a rave but it got real moody. How can a screw face have a good time? Was he the bride of his mother's booty? I doubt he's lived a life of crime. I went to a gig but nobody danced. Everybody was far too cool. All the kiddies, they just stood there. Is it the same at the public school? That boy's a Hoxton hero, skinny fit jeans and dressed in pink. How he just is Arc Zeros, as long as he don't fill my drink. That girl's an indie Cindy, Lego haircut, polka dot dress. I don't care, she thinks she's...
Hey guys, it's FallenHobo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Airstrike Designator Napalm. Before I start that, I'd like to thank Bulldog for letting me go on his account so I could review this weapon. In this review, I'm going to be showing you random clips of me using the Airstrike. I'm not going to show you full gameplay of a single match because the Airstrike, it has a 50-second cooldown and it runs on battery, so I don't want to bore you guys to death. So let's get started with this review. The Airstrike Designator Napalm is pretty much the brother of the Airstrike Designator LGB. Now both Airstrikes are specialist only weapons, and the only way to obtain them is through buying them from the NX Black Market or buying them for GP, but you have to be a really high rank to purchase them. The difference between the Airstrike LGB and the Airstrike Napalm is that the Airstrike LGB, it drops bombs, which pretty much is kind of like a giant grenade and it just destroys everything, whereas the Airstrike Napalm, instead of relying on hitboxes, it just burns up the entire target area, and whatever person enters this target area will get severely burned, sort of like the incendiary flames, except this flame is a lot more deadly. The flames can deal 30 to 80 damage. It's really powerful. If you touch the flames, you will die in 1 or 2 seconds depending on how much health you have left. It's just pretty much impossible to escape death. Once you touch the flames, you will die immediately, and it is very powerful. A problem with the Airstrike Napalm is that you can get KS'd really easily. Unlike the LGB gives direct damage, whereas the Napalm Airstrike deals damage over time, so you can get KS really easily, so just be cautious of that. Now, as you guys can see on the top right side of my screen, the Airstrike Designator Napalm runs on batteries, just like the heartbeat sensor or the satellite scanner. It runs on batteries. Now, in order to call an airstrike, you have to right click, which gives this really cool scope, by the way, and you have to hold your left click for about 2 or 3 seconds, and it will tell you that your airstrike call is complete, and later a few planes will come and drop some bombs and burn up the place. Once you successfully call the airstrike, you will lose all your battery points, and in order to regain battery, you can do one of 2 things. You can just wait for about 3 minutes, I think, which is when the batteries will fully recharge, or you can just leave the game and come back. Now, if you leave the game and come back, just know that there is a 50-second cooldown for the airstrike, so you can't continuously use it over and over again, so just keep that in mind. Now, the Airstrike Designator Napalm also has a really long draw time, so you have to be really cautious about that. And also, while you're loading the airstrike, calling for an airstrike, you're scoped in and you're holding left click, you will be extremely vulnerable. I would suggest going behind some sort of piece of cover or making sure that no one will kill you while you call the airstrike. In this video, I know that I get pwned a few times trying to call an airstrike, and this is a mistake that I made, and now that I know about it, I can share it share with you all the mistakes I made and how to correct them. What you want to do is just hide somewhere before you call an airstrike, because once you scope in and start lowering the airstrike, you are extremely vulnerable. You don't know what's around you, and if you aren't careful, you will die. So just be careful of that. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention that you cannot use the airstrike in indoor maps such as Death Room, or let's see, what other indoor maps are there? Overdose, yeah, that's a good one. You can't use the airstrike in those maps because the bombs cannot go through roofs, so just be really cautious of that. The only map I'd say that the airstrike is really good at would be Brushwood and Junk Flea. Those are the only maps I would suggest using the airstrike for, because they're very small maps and people like to clump together in small maps, so I think that's the only place where the airstrike can excel. Now, for those of you who want to know if the airstrike is useful at quarantine, I'd have to say no, just because most quarantine maps are indoors. Well, some of them are outdoors, like Two Towers or Warhead, some parts of Warhead anyway, but it's really hard to land an airstrike on an infected, since you have to stop and load the airstrike, and the zombies can easily run away from the airstrike, so don't even bother for that. Now, as for Fire Team, it's actually really good for Fire Team Cabin Fever, but it's only useful for round maybe 13 and up, where there are lots of zombies outside and you just place an airstrike somewhere and you get a whole lot of points from just burning those zombies. Now, would I recommend the airstrike for normal players who like to play elimination? I'd have to say no. It's just not that worth it at all. It's not good. It's only good in a few maps, and it's fun to play with, but if you're a serious gamer, then please don't. But if you play Fire Team a lot, then maybe I would suggest it, but no, maybe actually no, I wouldn't suggest it at all. I'd rather just stick with a regular character and carry an extra machine gun or something, since you can just take the airstrike from round, I don't know, what is it, 18 I think. Anyways, I'm pretty much going to end the review here. I don't want to be talking about the airstrike too much. It's a very straightforward weapon and you guys should already understand what it's like. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.